No light. Hi guys. Anybody here yet? We really need to get some freaking lights working around here. This is pretty shitty. We're gonna go to my other spot. Just nothing here. It's like a desolate land. Might as well go to the only spot that matters really, where all the people go to. Welcome if you've just joined our Saturday night live stream. And Skyjack, what's going on, sir? Oh, thanks for stopping by, man. Yeah, man, I've been loving your stuff lately too. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm in there. I'm in those casts, those newscasts, those lives, as much as I can, you know. Standing up to the man. Keep doing what you're doing, sir. Absolutely. I think I might start here. I like to start off in a nice, like, calm place. Oh yeah, while you're here too, I'm gonna do like a little once a month morning show. Zip this up. But I'm gonna do a little once a month morning show. I'm gonna suck at it in the beginning, but it's just gonna be like a recap of maybe vegan news and things related. So I'm watching you taking notes. I did a live stream like a few weeks ago outside of a steakhouse near where I live, and I did it kind of in like this comedic satire-like fashion. I dressed up as a journalist, and it was a lot of fun. And I said, you know what? I want to parlay that to something. So I feel like once a month. I can't do once a week or, you know, as frequent as you. I wish I could, but I feel like I don't know what I'm going to talk about. So 1 month will give me some stuff to time to improve. But yeah, we'll see what happens tonight. I got a lot of people out here. Yeah, I'm totally going to do it, man. My audio sucks tonight. I'm working on, I need to get a new, I think, SC17 thing for this. So it's funny, I got this, but it's more so for the optics. I'm on YouTube Live. You can be on it if you want. It's a little social experiment called Why Aren't You Vegan Yet? Up to you.
Yeah, well, I don't know, like,
Hell yeah. Okay, cool.
Why aren't you vegan? I'm really good if I record.
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, of course you can. I'm James. I'm just an animal rights activist, and I come out here on Saturday nights. And I just ask people a few questions. Okay, so let me go. I'm gonna go kind of like binary in the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm trying something new out on you guys. Okay?
Man, Mark.
Okay,
Mark,
so my first, I'm gonna.
YouTube Live, man.
All right, I'm gonna go. So protector or bully? Which one? Like, if you could choose one, maybe reflecting to yourself, would you choose protector or bully? Protector. I love that. Animal abuse or non-animal abuse?
Non-animal.
Like, I don't like the killing the animals now.
Right?
Nah,
like, we've all seen this crap. It's
Yeah.
insane. Health or disease?
Health.
Right off the bat, these guys are all vegan. So you're vegan. At heart, you're vegan because the answers you just gave me all reflect that of somebody that's vegan, right?
Yeah.
But all of us out here, you know, the 99%, we all go around and we vote for meat and cheese and milk and eggs because it tastes good.
I don't
it's
eat
convenient.
cheese.
Okay, good. It's better for your health too.
Yeah,
It's
but I
great for
don't
the
eat
animals.
cheese at all.
We all go around, we have these beliefs, right? We
Yeah.
have these cornerstone values that we champion. But when we're supporting systems of violence like meat and cheese and milk and eggs, then the whole values thing crumbles. So the whole thought experiment is basically to get you to think a little bit about that ballot box,
Yeah.
right? Do you guys think there's anything nutritional that you need from an animal?
Protein.
Okay, protein.
Protein. Carbs.
Okay. I don't think
Well, not
animals-
carbs.
I say protein. You need.
Some people,
I know that's the main one.
there's a whole myriad of things that people give me. Protein's the biggest one.
Yeah.
And it's definitely the biggest one. But, you know, the incumbent industry and the very wealthy have done an amazing job. You got to hand it to them. They've done an amazing job
Yep.
of getting this messaging out to the masses. masses
Yeah.
to where we all think, you know, something is lacking from a vegan diet. We all think that, right?
Yeah.
But the beautiful thing is, I mean, I'm 13 years vegan. I don't take vitamins or supplements. I don't dabble in that bullshit. My daughter, the same thing. You know, I eat Chinese, American, Italian.
I eat
You
Chinese.
name
Wait,
it.
personally, do you think vitamins like they add extra stuff in there that you don't need?
100%. The whole vitamin industry is a fucking scam. I mean, there are some that are there's some that are band-aids that may be in an outlier case necessary.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's all about the money, baby. And
All about the money.
when you hear things like vitamin B12 and you hear things like vitamin D and certain things that you just have to supplement with, you got to take into account where that messaging hails from, and it all comes down to the money. But I would challenge you guys. What's the biggest thing if you could have one reason? If you had one reason that it would be the reason for you not going vegan, what's the hardest thing?
I like soup, I like desserts here and there.
Desserts, heard. Okay, yeah, I'm a big dessert guy,
Also,
too.
I like brunch, like French toast.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. What about you?
I just like, I like it. It's a different type of taste.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I laugh because I was.
But I just want to keep the protein. You know, I just want to stay strong and healthy.
Yes, and I'll tell you, you can do it on a vegan diet.
Yeah.
And the desserts, ooh, they're there.
But I don't eat real food. I eat junk food.
Okay, gotcha. You know, you can be a junk food vegan too. You know, you can be a junk food vegan.
Like
Not all
organic,
vegan
like
food.
organic stuff.
Not all vegan food is healthy, guys. Just so you know, like I eat, you know, junk food from time to time.
Okay.
But the most important part about the whole ceremony of all of this is the voting with our hearts, our spirits, and our essence of what we want to see in the world, the change we want to see in the world.
Yeah.
We do that by being vegan and saying no to this fuckery that's I point up because it's all you know, the wealth narratives that you know have been around for thousands of years that want to see that money just keep coming in.
Yeah.
So I'll challenge you guys today, and I got cards for you if you want to take some. Moving forward, you know, think about the ballot box, the real one, which is the cash register at any store, and where you're going to put your vote, because you know you're going to walk away, or you're basically voting for one, a system of violence, or two, a system that boycotts that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Desserts, man, you're there.
Too much it's not too good to eat too much starch.
I shouldn't say so close to vegan. I should say there are a lot that are already vegan, and there's a lot that are made vegan. And you said rice, was it?
Yes, it's not good to eat too much starch.
Well, you know, I mean, it's the funny thing is, like, this whole thing is not really about health. You know, I can tell you some of the healthiest people on the planet eat rice all the time. Okinawans survived off of rice for thousands of years.
You know where you need to go? I feel like you need to go to Italy.
Oh, okay.
That's they're very good on nutrition and
yeah. Can you take a card? It's got my YouTube channel on it. It's got my YouTube.
I'm pretty sure you know about like other countries that have more natural stuff.
Yeah. You know, it comes down to us though. Like, we're the ones that are going to make this stuff come into existence, right?
Yeah.
You, me, because we're the ones that are creating the demand for it. And once buying dynamics change, you'll easily be able to get an amazing vegan dessert anywhere you go.
Yeah.
Right now, I gotta fucking go. God knows, I gotta precision tune my finding. You know, I can't just go right down the street and get a great vegan dessert. You know, you go up there, they got like one flavor, and it sucks. You know, but you can find it if your why is strong enough. Then you'll find the vegan desserts. You'll find the tastes. I mean, don't count out some of these like plant-based meats. You know, you could try them and find some that you really fucking love because they taste spot the fuck on, just like me. But yeah, guys, you guys have any questions for me?
What you think like the population of vegans and non-vegans?
What about the population?
Yeah, like what do you think the percentage is? Like,
I'm pretty sure it's between 1% and 3% are vegan, and the other mass are non-vegan. Right, and that hails from, you know, once again, the narrative's doing a great job telling us that we need meat and cheese and milk and eggs, and it's normal and it's necessary and it's nice. They told our grandparents, they told our parents, they told us, and on top of that, all the doctors are saying the same thing. So it's a very thick inertia that they've built out, and it's very hard to penetrate. And we can't do it with mainstream. We have to be out on the street talking to like amazing guys like you. To just kind of get the word out. So you start changing the dynamic. It starts with us.
Yeah, it always starts with one person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. How has every big change in history come about? It's been that one person, right?
Yeah.
So there's a few of us right now, maybe 160 million to 240 million if you look at that basis, that 3% basis. But I mean, there's going to be a lot more, guys. So be a part of history, right?
Yeah.
Be on the right side too. But yeah, the population's going to change too. You know, as time goes on, it'll be 40%, 50%. But you know, now's the time to be a first mover, and you'll get healthier.
Yeah.
You can tell all your friends, yeah, I fucking vote with my values. I vote on principle. I buy things based on what I believe in instead of following a herd, which we're all doing.
Yeah.
You know? Cool. Well, I'll let you guys go.
Thank you.
I'm gonna get the word out tonight.
I mean,
I'm glad. Check out my channel, and good luck with your endeavors
thank you.
too.
It's Poland.
Yeah.
What's your channel?
Above the Horizon is the name of it, but you can search me Vegan Sign Guy if it's easy to remember. But it's all on the card.
Thank you.
Cool.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Have a great
Stay-
one. Yeah, you too. Hi, everybody. Okay, you know what we're doing here, newcomers. Hi, guys. You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? Just testing out values tonight. All right, guys.
Jack's like, we're getting a bump.
All right. Hi, Dominion. How you doing? Decidedly Donna. Okay. Vegan anthem. Vegan anthem. I'm gonna tell you, you can't keep going with this. We're out here, we're trying to put the attention on the animals tonight. We might have to. You keep bringing it up. We're gonna have somebody take you out of the live stream. I'm sorry. Let's see. Sky is here. Sky's amazing. Everybody go to his channel right now. Subscribe. All 12 of you. I feel like my algo is tempered again tonight, and that's okay. That's okay. You know, we're out here just to talk to people. So, not really here. We want a lot of people in here, but the main thing is we want to get better at doing this, and we want to talk to everybody we can in public. So, I think YouTube tempered my exposure a little bit. Vegan Anthem, you gotta go. Let's get Vegan Anthem out of there. Anyway, I'm probably gonna move locations. This is like my little warm-up area where it's not too heavily volumed. I have an area that I'm probably gonna go to, guys. You know where that is, where we'll get all the people. But I gotta warm up, you know. We all gotta warm up, you know. When you're doing something like this, warm up. Get the kinks out. I had a nice little warm-up conversation right there, and we're gonna put the word out. Thanks, Dominion. Yeah, it's unacceptable to bring that up in here and to keep addressing it and fighting. You know, hi guys. How you doing, guys? You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet?
No, I appreciate it, but
All right, have a good one.
no, let me get on there.
Oh, you want to be on? Okay, cool. All right, we have that appeal, right? We try. All right,
going on?
so it's like a little YouTube live I just started.
Okay.
It's a thought experiment, guys. Just to kind of make you critically think a little bit, I guess.
Okay.
And I'm out on the streets here doing this tonight, right? So my name's James. I ask a few questions. I guess the first one I'll ask you guys is, do you think animals, meaning farm animals in specific, but I could mean any animals really. Do you think they deserve any kind of rights?
Yes, I believe all animals share rights.
Okay. Which rights would you say the right to their own bodily autonomy would be okay?
When you say that, what do you mean?
Like your body, your choice, right? Or so the antithesis would be your body, my choice.
Well, I don't believe that the animal has the power to make that decision, but I believe that
Okay.
in the fairness of, you know, when you're overdoing something, or overkilling something.
Yeah. You see there's whispers of something off when you see it happening on like a larger basis, right? Kind of what you're saying. When you see it happen in a savage way, or maybe factory farms, there are kind of whispers that kind of tell you something's off with that, right? So let me ask you this. Are you guys for or against animal abuse? That's pretty black and white.
Yeah, we're definitely against it.
Okay, good. So that brings us to this third looming question that everyone out here I'm trying to ask tonight is, why aren't you vegan yet? If you believe in the protection and stewardship of, say, God's creation, which are the animals, why vote for the opposite of that with the dollar?
Well, I'm not going to say why I vote for what you asked. The question at hand was you asked why we're not vegan. At this moment, life, and at this time, you know, even the conditions of life, you know, it's not really possible for everyone to be vegan for how it's structured. You know what I mean? So, with that even being said, so, you know, day by day it's a strive.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of shit that's put in front of us every day. We got to go through all these logistics. Life is not fucking easy. I definitely agree with you on that one.
It's a battle with that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of other stuff going on. You know, people point me to the war. They point me to other issues in different countries. They say, why aren't you tackling this? Why aren't you tackling this? Why aren't you tackling this? I think the answer to that question lies in how you posture with the answer to one of my questions. Because, like, with the whole bodily autonomy thing, you know, our own compassionate hearts would reflexively say, of course, somebody deserves bodily autonomy, right? But the thing is, none of us see animals as a somebody. We all see them as a resource to use. And not talking about cats or dogs or, you know, but farm animals. We see farm animals. Uh-oh. We see farm animals as a resource. Sorry, I guess your friend is going there, just so you know. He's taking off. And we've all been taught that, right? So I'm here to just challenge people to see them as not just numbers, but see them as vessels of which God created. And, you know...
But you understand that we're talking biblically here, we're talking biblically here,
Yeah.
God also provides the animals for us to, you know, to live
Historically, in the Bible and through man's translations, it was lamented, but we don't know if that's actually what God would have wanted.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, facts.
it's been, you know, it's been written over and over and over.
But when we come, that comes to religious belief and stature on pawn.
Yeah,
Everybody's different view and structure on it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I would think, like, if Jesus Christ was here in 2025 and Jesus Christ was walking, like, who was the most compassionate man that ever lived, by the way? He would advocate for peace and not violence, right? Because you know what you've seen probably what happens in these farms. It's throat slit.
See, I think that's the problem.
Yeah,
the problem is everybody. If you just make the chicken and put it there, food, and just put it there, people will eat it. But if you see it, then you realize. Like,
you know what that's called? It's what's been architected out by certain wealth narratives that benefit from animal agriculture. The exact term, what you just framed, is called cognitive dissonance. And they play on it, they architect it, they full send it into kind of like the sphere of the population to where we buy something and when we buy it, we're not seeing what transpired for it to get there. We just see what you said. We just see the food, right? We just see the food. And if any of us were taken on a Genesis to Revelation tour of what happens when the animal's born and then to where it gets to our plate, none of us, well, some of us might, some like psychopaths might, would not want that to see that and would want to have no part in it, right? But I know you guys are on your way. Can I give you some cards? Do you have any other questions for me? Or this is just, you know, to kind of get the word out for the little guys tonight. And something for you to think about. Can I give you one card? Do you guys think you could share it if you want the resource? My channel's on there. You've been so gracious to give me your time, and anyone that gives me their time and trusts, you know, this ceremony, I really appreciate you guys. And thanks for listening. But think of the animals because they need us. You guys have a good one. Take care. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show on Saturday nights. We've had a couple interviews tonight. We are going to move locations in just a second, and we're handing out cards, shaking hands, kissing babies, you name it. Well, we're handing out cards and talking about animals here tonight. So, welcome. Hi, Donna. Everybody, all 18 of you, go subscribe to Decidedly Donna, running an amazing YouTube channel over there. Yeah, Jesus loved lambs and birds. Jesus was compassionate, the whole thing. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I kind of just leaned into, you know, what I kind of felt out is some kind of inertia, and I assumed there was something biblical behind it. And sure enough, he shored that up. So, you know, just like Will Tuttle says, kind of using your own intuition to kind of lead these outreaches and, you know, when you're talking to somebody. And, you know, they got cards. Hi there. And all in all, you know, we can plant seeds. We can plant seeds. All right, guys, we're gonna move a little bit over here. But yeah, I mean, and also, I mean, I'm trying to also cut loose, people that I can feel out a palpable impasse with. Like I knew that wasn't going to go anywhere. And when you're talking to somebody, you're gonna feel that out. You're gonna just feel out that impasse when you just know it's gonna be, me talking, saying different things, but in the same spirit over and over. And that's a waste of time for me and the animals. So I'm gonna move on to a little higher traffic area here, my regular area. We're gonna go from there. Hi, Navia. Yeah, but Jesus didn't. Jesus was beautiful. Oh, I should have told them to watch Christspiracy. Oh, they got the card, so they can see it. It's on there. Thanks to the person that brilliantly put together my cards. All right. Oh, this guy's back. What's going on, man? The same guy that was here last week. Navi, how you doing? Long time no see. I feel like this should be a little higher. This should be a little bit higher. I mean, I don't think it's going to get as intense as last week. I don't think anything's going to get as intense as that. You guys remember all those guys in my face last week? And then they invited me out for sake bombs, or whatever it was. That was messed up. But we didn't move, did we? We stayed right here. Hi, guys. You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet?
She's vegan.
Let's go. Let's go. You guys are guardians. We appreciate you. Hi, guys. You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? Be on YouTube Live. It's up to you. Little thought experiment. Have a good night, guys. All right. Can you name one Islamic country that gives animals rights? I don't know what this has to do with anything. I don't even know why I would answer that question. Or maybe that's the piggybacking off of something. What's going on, guys? You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? Any quick questions? All right, guys. How about you guys? Why aren't you vegan yet? You guys want to try this? YouTube Live, why aren't you vegan yet? You could be on YouTube. There's only a few people in here. It's just a little thought experiment. That's it. It's up to you. No pressure, no pressure. Okay. Have a good night, guys. All right, we're going to make our time count out here, right? Man, we're already 22 minutes in. Jeez. You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? 2025. You can do it. All right, we got these guys right here. We're going to get them. You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? All right, guys. Not being vegan, not being nice, guys. Have a good night. All right. $1 for the bus? I think that's the least I can do, man. Oh, I got a little YouTube Live going on. I'm actually asking people about animals and just like a few quick questions to kind of gauge things, but it's very critically thinking based. Oh, are you interested? You want to try this?
Oh, I'm just curious about two questions.
Firstly,
what do you think about Rudolf Steiner?
Rudolf who?
Steiner.
Can you amplify on what he is and just distill it?
He is a regenerative egg thinker, and one of his ideas is that you should not cut the horns off of bulls.
Oh, I love that.
Because they pick up energies around the farm. What do you think about that?
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, of course they should not cut the thing off. That's somebody right there. But does he grow eggs? Does he harvest eggs? Does he farm eggs? Or
no, it's not about eggs. It's about the horns on cows.
Oh.
Cows have horns.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't cut them off because they were like energies
100%
that they pick up. What do you think about that?
I think that's sound. I don't know. I don't think I'm privy to the full context of what you're framing out. But just taking horns and cutting them off is cruel. And where we go from in this conversation is basically to anything that exploits an animal, from farming to using their skin, their leather, their eggs, their milk. It's all abuse, and we're out here just letting people know that they're paying for that abuse if they're not vegans. That's all this is. So, to answer your question, I would definitely say that's a net negative. When you cut horns off of somebody, it's like if somebody came up to me.
it's not a question about the ethics of cutting horns off something. It's like, what do you think that their horns are able to pick up energy?
Would I think they could pick up energy? I don't know. But it really comes down to their bodily autonomy. I think there's a lot of speculation that may kind of lie about or underlie your question. But we know for a fact we're taking somebody's bodily autonomy away from them. We're saying, your body, my choice, when we're cutting right? That makes sense, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm just curious what's next.
Okay, it's above the horizon. What's up, guys? How are you? Above the horizon. I have a card if you're interested.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I just come out here every once in a while, once a week actually, so I'm in prison. And we just do these little thought experiments where I ask 3 questions, right? Like, you want me to try it on you real quick? Okay. So basically, 3 questions I kind of go forward intuitively. I guess, have you heard of the word vegan before? Okay, what do you think it means?
It means that you're not using animal products as opposed to vegetarianism, where vegetarians still consume meat, cheese, and honey, whereas if you are vegan, you do not consume any products from an animal.
Yeah, you got the gist of it, right? I mean, the vegetarian's not going to have any meat. You're going to have basically cheese, milk, the eggs, right? A lot of people, and actually not a lot of people, everybody defaults to the dietary definition. But what the definition really is something deeper, and it underlies everything, and that is ethos, right? So, have you heard of the golden rule?
Yeah. I'm going to tell you off, and I have a question for you. Do you think that if people consented to be turned into Soylent Green, do you think that you would support that?
No. And Soylent Green has nothing to do with any of this. Just to be clear, there's a lot of messaging out there that's basically built out, architected, and shored up by incumbent industry that gets that into your head and gets that into people's head. This has nothing to do with any kind of, bugs or Bill Gates or Soylent Green type thing. It's just, it's incredible the job they've done.
I'm curious if you look at veganism in the context of, well, an animal can consent to be eaten, but what if a human consented to be eaten?
If they consented to?
Would you be okay? Would you consume a human that consented to be eaten?
No way. Would you?
Maybe I would. Maybe I would.
If a context warranted it, but not this context, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, we got Chipotle right there. We got plants. They're ubiquitous. They're all around. We can paint. How you doing? We can paint hypotheticals, nonstop, and just keep coming up with all this mental gymnastics, right? But at the end of the day, and I say this just with, because I've heard every single argument in the book. It just comes down to saying, I want to yield bodily autonomy to another sovereign being, or I don't. And that's the dynamic that's at play, and that's the dynamic that's underneath the word vegan. It's not nutrition. And that transcends to our values, to how we treat our kids, what we teach our kids, how we treat a fellow human being. I usually ask the second question, which is pretty easy. Like, are you against animal abuse, or are you for it?
I mean, I guess it depends on what you would define as the context of the animal abuse, but currently I have to go because I have to eat meat, but it was nice.
Yeah, it was nice to meet you. Hey, you had the curiosity to come up, and I really appreciate that. So check out the card. I would say what we do to animals is not twice as bad as abuse, not 3 times, not 10 times. I would call it 100 times worse than abuse, because we're essaying them, we're committing violence, we're kicking, we're spitting, we're laughing at them, all for a yum-yum that we forget about in a week.
Yeah,
So,
I agree. It is explained.
yeah, well, have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. Sure. Sorry it's loud out here, guys. And I think this interesting group here kind of eclipsed my sound bites. But just so you guys know, I don't have audio tonight. I do have this. But I will have audio soon. I'm working on getting a new SC17 little cord. I think after I troubleshoot it today that cord is conked out and doesn't work anymore. So I'm working off the phone audio. But she was really nice. She stopped out of curiosity, and we talked about the choices we have. We talked about what the veganism really is. It's not a diet. It's an ethos. It's a way of living. It's living the golden rule. and she had a few posturings for me that you got to keep the messaging strong while you're out here. You got a few minutes for the animals, and you got to make it count. So I told her to throw that Soylent Green garbage out, throw that what you've heard about, bugs and all the Bill Gates shit. Throw it out. It's all built out, architected, and shored up by industry. Hey, Vegan Church Service, how you doing? What's going on, buddy? How you doing? Nice to see you. My boombox friend here every Saturday night like clockwork. He's got some good tunes tonight. So also guys, every Friday, I want to let everybody know, I'm going to try to do this on Fridays. We're going to have live B12 Q&As where we can help iron out confusion, answer any questions you might have, field any kind of inertia you're still feeling with this whole B12 narrative. We'll be doing that live every Friday. I did my first one last Friday. I thought we got some good stuff out there. Helped out a few activists, helped out a few vegans to kind of see through the lies of vitamin B12. Oh, I'm going to stop calling, by the way, the vegan doctors. We're going to start calling them plant-based doctors exclusively, because in no way at all is somebody advocating that you take a pill which by purchase of shores up animal agriculture and pharmaceutical messagings. Is vegan. That's plant-based. So we're going to start exclusively, when I talk about plant-based doctors, in outreach and stuff like that, we won't be saying vegan doctors, period. They are plant-based. They are not vegan. I say this with some strength, and I know it sounds harsh, but they are responsible, and they are being very irresponsible when they don't look outside of certain narratives, and they just kind of default to what everybody else is saying. They are responsible for a lot of people that look up to them, and it's absolutely abhorrent that they are not looking further into this lie. So we'll be calling them plant-based doctors from here on out. Yeah, they're definitely not vegan, that's for sure. But they can be plant-based. Don't follow them, though. I mean, obviously, a lot of the plant-based doctors have given us some, and just told us things that we already knew, basically. They've done some good, types of work with, like, the movie What the Health. Maybe they've been in the movie Game Changers. But what overarches everything is this whole materialistic science. And, these same doctors are telling people to take vaccines. They're telling people to put all kinds of shit into their body. That's not vegan. I'm sorry. Telling one of your patients to take a vaccine or a pill is not vegan. It is against the animals, and it is against our sovereignty as humans. But anyway, check out this thing coming up every Friday. We'll be fielding Q&A, style in this live, and I'll be talking about B12 and helping vegans kind of iron out the confusion. Jesus, freak! I'm not sure what you did. But it's probably an easy fix, dude. I've been vegan 13 years, and my daughter's vegan since birth. What's going on, buddy? You want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? Be on YouTube. Answer some questions.
I can do 3 questions.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'll make them quick then. Guardian or bully? Neither? Well, you wouldn't prefer to be a protector over, say, a bully?
Well, bully is one who, obviously goes out of their way to attack. But a guardian is also one who will selflessly protect anybody.
Yes.
Right? And now, there's a third side.
I don't want you to overthink it. I want a reflexive answer.
Sure,
right? Okay, so I'm going to do 2 more, and I'll do them rapid fire. Which one would you prefer, though? Attributing it to your own self. Would you rather be a bully or a guardian? Okay, guardian. That's right. What about animal abuse? For or against animal abuse?
Against.
Abuse, exactly. And then we're talking, we can consider killing worse than abuse, I think.
Dependable.
What about health? Health or disease?
Health, obviously.
Yeah, so you're a vegan at heart. This man is a vegan at heart. So these answers are the answers that a vegan would give. Because it's veganism, and I like to mention it and lament to everybody. I know you're in a hurry. It's not about food, and it never was. It has to do with voting with your values. values, like your human values, your sovereign values, your autonomy, and being the change that you want to see in the world, and boycotting certain systems that are abusive.
I'll agree with you there. I do not approve of the commercialization of meats.
Yes.
It should be like the old days, hunter-gatherer. You should go out and get your own, and because most of the time back in the day, they would prey over the animal.
There might have been a more of a historical need for it, but now there's not, right?
Because there's overabundance at this point.
Overabundance. We have plants. You know what I mean? We can evolve our consciousness at this point. Like, that's not. I would say hunting now is very. I hate to use the word stupid, but it's just not conscious. It's not evolved.
If that's what you do as a lifestyle instead of going to the grocery store,
if it's necessary.
Well, like I said, if you're reducing the amount that you would use to have to go to a grocery store, let's say, and basically accepting the corporatized America version, then fuck that shit.
Yeah, I'm still, and you know I'm not going to yield on this.
Of course.
You know, see, I talk to hunters all the time. Last week I talked to like 3 of them, and you know I got the message across, but you know there's something in their heads. The problem is we're not seeing the animal as a someone. We're seeing it as a vessel of exploitation, whether it be hunting it, eating it, using it, resourcing it. We're not seeing it as a sovereign being.
Depends on the person.
It depends on the person, but a person that sees them as a sovereign being is not a hunter. A hunter fits the bully narrative, and it fits it to the definitive degree.
I'll say today's hunters for sure, because
Oh, when we had to do it, like, you know, if we had to hunt and people were hunting and they didn't have a choice, they're vegan, because that's the only choice they got. Because veganism is really just doing your best, right? But I like to put a little thing at the end there. The least we can do is to yield sovereign beings bodily autonomy, and that is kind of doing your best. Being vegan is doing your best, and we can all be vegan. So it's tough. It's an earful, I know, but that's why I'm on the street, because you don't hear this kind of messaging in
you don't
Netflix or whatever, mainstream.
Then I got a little. Doesn't have to do with food. What's your input on abortion?
Oh, okay. Trust me, we get this a lot. You know, I'll be candid with you, since you had the respect. You came up to me and you're listening to me, giving me your time. I'll tell you my take on it. I think that once a baby or a living being develops a sentience, where they have this subjective experience, we don't remember it. Like, I don't remember when I became sentient. But once they're able to have a subjective experience, it could be 10, 11 weeks, like, off the table. But if somebody has been abused, or we won't even say abused, we'll just say they got pregnant and they abort the baby before there's any kind of sentience or feel or autonomy, I guess I would say, bodily.
Before it's developed.
Before any kind of that kind of thing. Yeah, you know, it is a kind of our body, our choice, and if we're not affecting somebody else, then I think that's okay. But it's not really relevant to this, but I will say, if you are for pro-choice or pro-life, you gotta be vegan, or else it's hypocritical.
I'm pretty much across the board is very big on depends on your situation.
Yeah, context dependent.
Because some people may not have the money the luxury to go to grocery stores every day, feed their 12 kids, but they can go to their backyard with a crossbow and they can get themselves 2 deer legally per year, and that'll feed that family for a couple months.
You know, it's kind of an outlier case, you know, relative to like this space right here. That's why I like to come down to like this city, where like we all have all these things, right? You know, but I guarantee you they could probably garden or grow their own crops. You know,
it does take more time.
And you also have to think about. You have to think about. You have to think about the ramifications though. Like, if there are kids around, you know, we're teaching our kids violence. We're saying it's okay to bully. It's okay to exact a might is right. It's okay to do all this. And whether or not we know it or not, they're learning that's okay by example, because that's how we teach, right? Our actions speak louder than our words. Say again?
Monkey see, monkey do.
Monkey see, monkey do, you know? But I know you're on your way. I don't want to keep you. If I give you a card, would you look at the card?
Sure.
I have a YouTube channel. You were so gracious to give me your time to listen. And if you want, you can check out, I have a ton of videos and resources, and I do interviews. My name's James. That channel is called Above the Horizon. So.
Nice to meet you, boss. I'm Noah.
Noah?
Yeah.
Biblical name, too. I love that name, too. Very cool.
Thank
Well,
you.
have a great night,
Appreciate
guys.
your time and carry on.
Ditto. All right, take care. Okay, 39-minute mark. Time is flying tonight. His name was Noah. He picked up a card. Really nice guy. And we're gonna be out here for, we'll say, another half an hour or so. We'll take it to the 11 o'clock area in my neck of the woods. Is this the new Dumb and Dumber movie? Oh boy. No, Ross. We're here speaking up for the animals on the street tonight and just sharing with people in the spirit of partnership and hopefully compassion. Hopefully that's what I'm doing. And I'm doing a good job, hopefully. That they don't need to hurt others anymore. What's going on, guys? Whoa. Oh my God! Okay, did you bring more?
We're
Oh,
back.
no.
We got backup.
Okay.
We got backup.
These guys were here last week.
For funny.
Do it. Yeah, how's it going, guys?
What's up? Yo, what's your name?
My name's James. I'm a vegan activist, and I come out here Saturday nights and I ask you guys why you're not vegan yet. So that's my whole thing. So you can do it. I mean, I get down to the 3 questions, right? Let me ask you guys the questions, okay? It'll be real quick. Guardian or bully? What's your reflexive answer?
Bully.
Wait, in what context?
No, I'm not going. I want to go where your heart says reflexive.
No, Guardian.
Guardian.
No,
Okay, I love it.
no
Oh, you were here
Diddy-
last
no
week
Diddy
too.
bully.
Guardian or bully? They said Guardian. What about animal abuse or against animal abuse?
Well,
Against.
There's got to be context.
I mean,
No context. I'm not giving you
I'm
any.
against animal abuse.
Against.
Got to be like a clear
Against.
answer.
But I am
There's gotta be a
fortunate
clear
enough.
answer. You know, like, I don't
Yeah.
think anyone would say, you know,
That's-
it was zero context whatsoever.
Yeah.
I think the right decision is not to hurt the animal.
Yeah. Oh, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. There's some outliers.
Yes.
And how about this? Health.
Wi-Fi.
This is an easy one. Health or disease?
Health.
Health. Okay, let's go. So long and short of it, you guys just all told me that you have vegan hearts. With those binary reflexive kind of answers that you gave me, right? Now, the whole thought experiment here, and I like to, before I go into it, I like to ask one question. I already asked you guys last week, but I asked you, what's the nutritional element you need from a non-vegan diet? Okay, I got protein. Do you guys saw?
what is it? Vitamins?
Vitamins and minerals.
Do you need metals?
Which one?
Was it B12 or something?
This guy just said B12.
Was it?
Okay, no, I get it. I want to let you know. So everybody tells me B12, guys, and I get the B12 argument all the time from most people that are not vegan, because the messaging is built out so thick that we need B12 in our diets, and that all comes from a place of insidious deceit, and that's pharma and animal agriculture. They want you to think that a vegan diet lacks. So I'll tell you, B12 is not a thing. Now,
Blood cell formation.
yeah, you'll find. I mean, that's online, right?
Just out of curiosity,
Nervous
like,
system
why
function.
do we need a vegan diet? You know, that's
DNA.
like,
Why are we going? Why guide towards a vegan diet?
Yeah, just like why? Like,
Yeah,
do you-
great
I
question.
can see like it's a choice rather than like you can survive. I feel like with or without it, rather than it's just like a choice. You know?
Yeah, I love the choice factor, right?
Yeah, and you're saying, I'm not trying to like put words in your mouth, but you're essentially saying that it's the better choice. It's
I'm
like,
saying that it's the choice that aligns with your values, right?
Okay.
Because when we have these values of I'm a guardian, I'm a protector, and I'm against animal abuse, but then I go over there and I take out my ballot, which is the dollar, the one that really gets counted every time.
Right.
And I put it in the ballot box, the cash register, and I vote for systems of violence. Don't you see a distortion there as far as the action value spread?
Guys,
Yeah.
Do you like yourself
What's up,
personally?
guys?
Do you personally practice this?
13 years, yeah.
13 years. So
I've been
like
vegan
you
13
haven't had
years.
steak, chicken, any of that. Like I'm being like serious.
I did for 30 years. I'm
years.
43 now. But I did for 30 years.
What like made you personally want to change?
You know,
I'm curious.
I don't think you were here last week, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Okay,
I'm
here.
new to the group here.
He's a
guys.
new-
Okay, cool. Take this card. Since
He's
I
a
know I
diversity
probably gave you guys some cards last week, but there's a speech on here that is the exact speech that did that.
Okay.
And it's by a guy named Gary Yourofsky. It's called The Best Speech You'll Ever Hear by a guy named Gary Yourofsky. where I probably told you guys a story, but I watched it, and then after I was done with it, I said, "Fuck this guy," and I told my wife, this guy thinks he's this, and this. He's trying to tell me not to eat meat. He's righteous. I named all kinds of other words, and then I came back a week later, and something whispered me. It just said, "Watch it again." So
Who do you think whispered? Like, just out of curiosity, what do you think there was a voice that whispered?
Probably my inner guidance system, which we all have, and you guys all have, your intuition.
Inner monologue.
Your intuition.
Sorry. Do you have faith in Jesus? Do you have faith?
Also,
I'll tell you my
piggyback
position.
off of that.
Yeah.
Hold on.
This is a key question. He just asked a massive question.
Hold on.
Okay.
I feel like this
So
is
guys,
super related.
Yeah, it is very related. It's very related. So I believe fully that Jesus was a man that walked this earth, and I also believe he was the most compassionate man that ever lived, and I also believe that he was enlightened.
So, but do you believe in him, as your savior?
As a secular, kind of godlike figure, I would say no. I would say that this is a conversation. I'm not a Christian.
But you acknowledge him
in that sense.
Yeah, okay.
But I love him, and I love what he did for the world. Right? And there's a lot of different wisdoms that are underneath the Bible that have been kind of what's the word? Window dressed, tinkered, adjusted by man to kind of fit man's industrial agenda, man's control agenda, right? But I'm reading the Bible actually again right now. It's funny. I just told my dad that the other day, and I'm starting to read the Bible again.
Do you know what section you're in right now?
I'm in Genesis.
Oh, Genesis.
Started. But there's so many things in the Garden of Eden that are so synchronous with veganism. But let me pull the reins a bit.
All right.
I watched the speech, and the second time, it just hit me like a knowing.
So the voice that you heard.
Well, yeah, it was the intuition. Right? That guided me to do it. But then it really resonated with me, and I said, I'm going vegan. I told my wife, get ready, we're going vegan. And she said, no, we're not. I said, we are. And time passed, and she's vegan. My daughter's vegan. My sister's vegan now. We have a whole bunch of people that have gone vegan, and it's a beautiful thing. And you can actually vote, the way Jesus would vote if Jesus was here today. I mean, Jesus Christ, if he was walking around, ain't going and voting for steak to see an animal get.
Are you sure about that though? I'm not saying that you're wrong. Not saying that you're wrong, but before Jesus, we made sacrifices, which I can see that's cruelty. But that was what God wanted.
Historically context.
I'm saying, but okay, so I know you just said in a way, I'm not gonna put words in your mouth, but it's just basically what you're saying, you're not, in terms of a follower of Christ, meaning not gonna listen exactly to what he's saying, right? Because you're gonna make your own. You're just gonna.
I'm not gonna listen to what man window dressed the Bible with.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
Right, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So But you're saying I acknowledge Jesus exists.
Yeah.
But I'm not necessarily gonna follow exactly what he says.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting. What you're saying. But here's my point.
Yeah.
Not acknowledging that he exists, right? And then saying that I'm not gonna follow him, but I know what he says. I don't think you could truly say you know the Bible until you follow Jesus,
Okay.
Because I think then at that point you start putting the practice of what Jesus said, and then at that point, I know you say you don't really necessarily put the faith. That's when God's Holy Spirit puts into you, and that's when I was saying the voice. That's when I think.
I love that you said faith.
Yeah.
I love that you said faith, and exactly what you said there. That voice has something to do with it.
Okay.
Now this is a conversation to unpack, though, and it's funny because I'm going to be making videos on this topic shortly. I put a few out on non-duality. I don't know if you guys have heard of non-duality, but faith is very integral, and it connects with everything that Jesus was talking about when he lived.
Right. Just out of curiosity, what do you mean by what Jesus said? I don't know. You don't have to say word for word.
His wisdom. Jesus points
specific.
people to look to their own intuition, to look to themselves.
Right.
He points people to see their own presence. Remember the parable where he tells everybody to build your house on a rock and not on
not sand.
That has something to do with knowing yourself, feeling and being your presence. That is a real faith, is being presence. And I think that's really how faith it was meant by him, but then man got a hold of the Bible and said, nope, you got to believe. It's secular, and if you don't believe, you're going there. And it was this whole fear-mongering campaign. I don't want to go too far into that, though. I don't want to go too far into that.
Where's the wall between, where was, as you put, what did you say, window dressed, as opposed to what truly happened? Where's the wall between
Where is the wall? We don't know. Where is
No,
the
I'm
wall?
asking you though,
We
because
have to.
you have an idea that you think that that's true.
Yeah,
but
we're intuition. You just look to yourself. Well, compassion. Would you agree that Jesus was the most compassionate man that ever lived?
Oh, he's God and man at the same time.
Okay, so this is a full stop argument to anything regarding veganism.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're about to make one point. Before you made that point,
Yeah.
I was going to say one point. You can make the point right after.
Yeah.
When you're talking about the parable about making your house, I know what you're talking about, making your house on a solid foundation when there's time for storms, I'm pretty sure God's talking about how he's our rock.
Yeah.
And I don't think he was necessarily
God
talking
is
about...
present, but God is present. And God is all of us. This is a whole nother take, guys. And we're not gonna agree if we're talking like secular religion and my point of view. But I get exactly where you're coming from. And believe it or not, I agree with you.
Okay.
100%. We're just speaking on fairly different trajectories or kind of dimensions. It's hard to iron out real time right here.
Yeah.
But so compassion. I want to go back to that.
Let's hear it.
Compassion is something that Jesus is known for, right? And when I say if Jesus was here and he was walking around, we can guarantee you that Jesus would vote for the compassionate choice. Would you agree with that?
I would say, well, first of all, I'm not Jesus, so I can't tell you what you
Yeah.
But based on what Jesus said, I would only infer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't tell you what Jesus says,
Yeah.
but I can tell you what he said, or I can't tell you what he would say now. I can pray about it.
He's not here.
I mean,
yeah.
he
Well,
can
he's
tell
not.
me. Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean.
You know,
Yeah.
I see, but like,
Yeah.
I can only go based off what he said. And like if I pray and I listen to him, you know?
Yeah.
So I see what you're saying. Like I
Yeah.
can see that as like, but in certain contexts, like you also said other things that like in the way you're saying that people have like the world, God's also talked about this, the world is against what the Lord says. Like you know how like oftentimes we talk about lust, we talk about like the American dream, how I can do all these things.
Yeah.
Like none of it has humility in it.
Yeah,
and I can see what you're saying. Like a lot of it, it's like people are ignoring the fact of what, to your point, values of like. But if you really think about it, where do these values come from? Because if you, like you're saying, like you believe that God has, like you believe His word, what He's true, and what He exists.
Yeah.
If we forget that, then we forget that where our values come from.
Yeah.
That comes from like the Lord created us. So to that point, the values should be in us.
Yeah.
Oh my bad.
And I think, and I love that you just said it.
Yeah.
Thank you for contributing that. And I think we all really know deep down we have these values, and everybody shares the same ones. And I would almost contest that all you guys were born vegan too, because when we're born benevolent, we're born innocent, we're born untainted, right? And the messagings come down from these wealth narratives, these messagings of might is right. It's a resource, not a sovereign being. You need meat and cheese and milk and eggs for health. It's normal, it's necessary, it's nice. These messagings come down thick, and they put these blinders over you thick. So in spirit of having you not make that connection. And, you know, we can actually just look to ourselves, and we can answer all the questions. But we're so used to defaulting externally and just following the herd, the 99% herd right now that's not vegan. But if you guys answered all those initial questions, you want to be a guardian, you're against animal abuse, you prefer health, then underneath everything, I mean, I think really fundamentally you are vegan. It's just we're all taught by our parents, their parents, our preachers, our pastors, our doctors, that it's all, you know, it's not the way.
I think the first questions that you had said, and the reason you're saying no context between them is because then you get a baseline answer, which would give you the baseline answer of being vegan.
Well, it's just
everybody not everybody, most people would all choose those answers because you know they're good people, but and you say no context.
Yeah.
I think the reason you say no context is because that gives you the no context.
I want your heart.
answer.
I want your reflex. I don't want you to think about it.
Nonetheless, though, that's
just
still
like I know
the
you
answer.
are not going to go around and abuse somebody because you're a good person. Just like I know you're not going to go steal something because most people are good people. But I want you to hear yourself say it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, going back to what we're saying, right? So we've already established that you have not necessarily like you're not following Christ in terms of like giving your life, understanding that He's like your Savior. Yet, I don't know, not trying to read this.
So if you want to know where I'm
yeah,
at,
I kind of want to
I
know
operate from more of like a very spiritual foundation, right? But not one that leans to any kind of secular religion.
But can you like elaborate on spiritual?
Spiritual meaning that we are spiritual beings, right? But there's a lot more underneath everything that we see here.
Right, so like you can't see everything, but it exists.
That basically this is our body. My body's not me. I'm not my mind.
Right,
either.
you got a
There's
soul.
something deeper.
Yep.
And soul is how it's framed a lot,
Right.
but it's just something that cannot be explained. It's stainless presence and awareness.
And like
Consciousness.
where do you get like these baseline, like where do you get the understanding from?
Great. So I follow a lot of non-dual teachings, which is basically not two. Non-dual, not two. Everything is one, right? But if you really,
where's that from though?
Non-duality, all kinds of wisdom traditions.
Yeah, I just never heard of it.
Well, if you look into like the ancient wisdom traditions, like Zen Buddhism.
Oh, from like
Far East.
Dang, we just learned about this in history class. My bad, Mr. Kramer.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. No.
Yeah, there's a book on this, and it's called The World Peace Diet. And Dr. Will Tuttle, he shares a lot of my same viewpoints on the oneness. He's spiritual just like me, but we're not religious. And it's funny because I'm interviewing him on Tuesday, and it's going to be live, just like we're live now. But he's in California, I'm here. It's going to be about the 7 deadly sins. Yes, but he's calling it the 7 deadly psyops. And it's funny because lust is one of them.
Yep.
And you mentioned that. But we're going to be talking about other stuff from materialistic science. We're going to be talking about herderism, which is primary to capitalism. Herderism came before capitalism. Capitalism just messed us all up, and it still does. But the seeing somebody as a number came before that. We're going to talk about that.
Just curious, like you were saying earlier, right? I understand I'm following, I'm like hearing your thoughts. Earlier when you said we can all acknowledge that Jesus was the most compassionate man to ever live.
Yeah,
just
I'll concede that. I'll yield that.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, if you believe that, like, I know, like, I'm not trying to go off track too far, but like, why wouldn't you put your faith or like maybe trust in this guy if he is the most compassionate?
Yeah,
just out of curiosity.
I
Like, that's like more
I
of a
guess
personal.
it comes down to just different schools of thought as far as, I don't consider him something separate from me and someone that's different than me. He is me, just like he is you. We are all one. This is kind of the fundamental crux of non-duality. And he was one of the most compassionate, very ahead of his time people. When he was 12 years old, he was teaching people that were 30, 40 years old in the temple. Remember that time when Mary and Joseph, they lost him? And they were like, where the heck is he? And he was, he was teaching these Gentiles, and they were like, oh my God, this guy's amazing. How does he know all this? But non-duality would postulate that he is all of us. And not make him a separate thing. Like we've kind of made him something separate from ourselves. And we've also, man has turned him into kind of an institution. Money under big churches and stuff like that.
So you said, like, I'm not saying like you said, or I'm not trying to take any quotes here, but just out of curiosity.
I think she touched her.
Just out of curiosity, like you're saying, or I don't know where to quote, not trying to quote anything, just saying, like, putting this in the context, that Jesus is not separate from us. You're saying he's in us, which I completely agree, besides the fact that he isn't separate. Because if Jesus is us, then we would, what I believe in is, like, there's a God, he's our Father who created everything, and there's the Holy Spirit, that's after Jesus ascended, and then there's Jesus. So Jesus is in us with the Holy Spirit, but then again, I need Jesus because there's no way I get to heaven after I die, because we all are gonna die.
Absolutely. We're going to lose this body and we're going to lose this mind. But we're not going to die. Like you said, the soul.
Because Jesus, he went to the cross, he died for our sins, and because of that, I'm free.
I have to point something out, and I love that you said that. Thanks for lamenting that to everybody. But I have a movie on there. You got to watch it. It's called Christ Spiracy. And this is a perfect opportunity for me to share this with you. Watch the movie, see what you think. What was Jesus' last thing that he did before getting crucified?
Yes, everyone to forgive. He asked our Father to forgive us.
Well, he did do that. Yeah. So what was his biggest disruptive action that he exacted? What was the biggest thing that that disrupted everything that he did days away from his crucifixion? He went into the temple. He flipped tables in the house of the Lord because they were selling livestock. They were exchanging money, all on his watch. He unchained the animals he said, these animals will go free. His creation, his babies, right?
Well, do you know why he did that though?
He was an activist of his time. I mean, there might be different takes, and you might have a different
I see what
take.
you're saying, but I don't think that was necessarily God's intention putting that in the Bible. I don't think he was necessarily, because like, if you want to go back to Genesis also, right? Because Jesus was in there to tell people like, this is wrong. Like, why are we just like abusing our Father's house? But also go back to your point, Genesis, God gave us animals for a reason, and he gave us livestock for a reason. And I get your point. The way people maybe kill animals to eat may not be humane. I mean, like, especially like if you want to go like the mass-produced chicken, like clearly, you're like, I mean, you're literally hurting them into a cage, killing them, and
that right there, those are whispers of your own intuition that's telling you that something's wrong with killing an animal.
Right, but I'm also
the way that
knowing
you already know that you can say that something it's worse doing this.
Yeah.
Right underneath that, I can get under that. You know, I can tell you that.
Right, but here's the thing. Here's what I'm saying.
But
I don't disagree with
it's
your
no
saying.
purpose because we don't need it.
Okay.
If there would be a purpose if we did.
But why would God give us animals if we didn't need them?
Well, to be on the earth with him, to love them, to let them have
you know,
families, bodily autonomy, your body, your choice. I think he'd be a champion of that.
I mean, I agree with that. I agree with that, but here's what I'm saying. To go back to my point, right?
Yeah.
He gave us the animals, he gave us livestock, right? I mean, like, I think he gave us this livestock for a reason, but
we were told that.
We also agreed earlier that this world that what evil has tried to put in our heads is right is being very, very deceptive. Sorry.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I agree with what they're saying. Like, the way we kill animals, or just besides even animals, the world right now.
You gotta watch that movie.
Yeah,
the way you're talking,
mean,
the conversation we've had, you gotta watch the movie. You gotta have the courage to watch it. And there's gonna be a lot of confirmation bias. You're gonna watch it and you're gonna be like, no.
Yeah.
Don't give into that shit.
Okay.
Just go through that confirmation bias.
Right.
Try to receive it with an open mind. The movie will change your perspective if you let it. But sorry, I cut you off.
But I mean, I kind of agree with what you're saying. Like, I think we're in a similar boat. But like, I think my big question comes down to here: if it was a sin, or like sin, like something wrong, what Jesus are like, because like what I base on my life is like, if God says don't do this, that's what I'm gonna do. Not do. If He says do this, I'm gonna do this. But if God didn't specifically say don't eat animals,
if it's in the gray area,
or not even gray area, like I don't remember at all. Besides, there's certain points where He said, like, actually, I agree with what you're saying. He said the specific way you kill, like dead animals, you shouldn't be eating that. Don't eat animals or foods. Like, go back in the Old Testament, He's telling you what animals to eat, what not. But He never said don't eat meat. He never said that.
But He also never mandated the eating of meat, right?
The Last Supper has multiple
accounts, but how do we know what really happened? How do we know what was really there? And how do we know that Jesus really ate that? Because remember the translations that have happened over the years, and we're talking thousands of translations.
But I'm saying
what got lost.
If it was really that big of a deal, like, I'm not saying what you're saying is not big of a deal, or if it's right or wrong. All I'm saying is, if it was really that wrong, why Jesus, who is God and man, who dictates if we go to hell or heaven, if we follow Him, like literally the King of Kings, if it was that big of a deal, why wouldn't Jesus Himself tell us don't eat meat? Like, He tells us what's right and wrong.
The thing is, when things are material, guys, all bets are off. We can't win. You know what wins when everything's material? The Bible's material too. It's all, you can see it, you can read it, it can be...
God's love is not.
Yeah, exactly, and that's spiritual. What you just said, that's spiritual. But these narratives, like these wealth, power, control narratives that want to see people seeing everybody else as separate, and actually they want us to see Jesus as somebody that is separate too, but that goes into a whole other trajectory. The wealth narratives have a vested interest in keeping certain messagings perpetuated, in keeping these texts, these tomes, all recepted the exact same way that you're framing it to me. But if you look underneath everything and you read and you learn about Jesus and what He's really talking about, but that has been bastardized by all these agenda-based men that want money, power, and control, let's face it, we can't deny that these same men have translated the Bible. You can't say that everyone that's translated the Bible is pure in heart and after Jesus' name. We have to see above everything so we can actually see what's going on and listen to our hearts to guide us instead of, some guy that just wants money that is extremely rich, and there's about, a few thousand of them that control everything right now. I know this sounds conspiracy theory, yes, but all it is pointing to money and pointing to power.
So where do you, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Where do you fall? Do you think, you said you don't directly have faith in God, like directly.
Like as your savior, you know, like if you were to die right now, like if you were to die right now, do you know who's your savior?
Yeah, well, I mean,
That's what I'm saying. You know where you go. Where do you think? What do you think happens after? Where do you think you're gonna go?
You really want to know? And if you guys gave me the respect to come over here, I'll tell you that. Okay, and I appreciate spending your time.
I'm just out of curiosity, like I'm appreciating like what you're doing, but like you think we could just without the cameras, like I don't want you to put out anything that you don't.
I won't put any of this out. You know, I might put out a few shorts based on our earlier conversation.
Yeah, without any camera looking, like I just want to have a real.
Yeah, well, that's what we're doing. I've done this so much. I don't even.
Because I don't want you to say anything that you don't want to say in public.
Oh no. Yeah.
Like I want you to be genuine.
When we die,
yeah.
So we have a body and a mind, right? We have these bodies, we have these minds. We're going to go back to the greater awareness. It's called. We look at it as like a big consciousness, and we don't believe in a heaven or a hell or anything like that. But we do believe that heaven can be translated and seen more so as the big consciousness that we go back to. Our spirits will go back to this big consciousness, and we'll sever the body-mind, and then we'll go and we'll have another life, and we could come back in a whole myriad of different ways, and that consciousness, that big consciousness, will distill into another vessel in this apparent world. So it sounds like a lot, but when we die, we don't believe that we're dying. We're going to be around forever. Meaning our awareness, like my awareness.
Oh, like, is this you personally, or like is this like a denomination? Or
No. We believe that. No, everybody. You guys too. We believe.
Right. Yeah, but I just believe in like heaven and hell, and who's going to control where I go.
Yeah, we don't really believe in hell. I would challenge you to look. We would be like just me and like other spiritual, practitioners, people that are more spiritual than they are really anything else. Not really secular based, like Muslim, Christian, you name it. Why aren't you vegan yet? Yep. But we've gone off. We've tangent off a little bit. But let me just keep it. I'll just keep it to this. We all go back to the big consciousness, and then from there, and this is a stainless part of us that we all actually are right now, and the narratives can never touch this. Oh God, if they could, God knows what they would do. But the narratives can touch everything material. They can bastardize things. They can imbue things. But our true nature is what I'm talking about, and that's stainless. And we go back to that when we die, and then all of a sudden we'll find ourselves in a new kind of avatar, if you will.
You claim that you think you're going to come back in a different vessel. Where's the middle ground? Do you think you just go straight from dead to animal, dead to human, or do you think you
we don't know that. This got weird. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's
Chick-fil-A. No Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
Arby's is my favorite.
Yeah, okay, Arby's. I did my share. I did my share Arby's.
Okay, but why not?
Okay.
Terrible for you.
So I'm gonna go into this with these guys. I only got a few minutes out here for the animals.
I love you, man.
Hey, come on, man. I love you too.
No, I respect it. I respect it.
Just before you leave, man, I don't know how far you are. Like, I don't know, like how far you are from Annapolis, but if you live here,
yeah,
Glenburn, you know where Glenburn.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
If you had the time, man, please, just like, because I know what you're doing. Just maybe check out LA's Church.
Tell me the name of the church.
LA's Church.
Okay.
That's where I pretty much grew up. I'm not saying like you gotta go there. I'm just saying like, hey, what you're saying, I think you go there. There's people just like you where they want to be more compassionable. They want to follow. They want to be better. Like, but the only way we can do this is through Jesus. I know you said like you don't necessarily follow him, but if you acknowledge that this is real, like even just going there, you're gonna find things where it's like,
and I appreciate your conviction,
right.
I'll remember that. But do you want to do this real quick before you leave?
I don't want to do that. I want to listen to what you say.
Oh, okay. We're talking about a church, I guess.
I'm saying, man, like, you generally, and I'm not even exaggerating this. Your life will change. I'm telling this from experience. Like,
I love that.
My life has not changed, or in a way where I could vividly remember it from this. This is my home.
LA's church.
Please take a
Lighthouse
picture.
Church. I'll remember it.
No, come on, take a picture. I know you're gonna say that.
I want to be honest with you.
How about this? I'm gonna get a deal.
Yeah.
I'll look this up if you look this up. You make a deal?
I'll look it up.
I'll watch
it.
We will do it. Come on.
This is live right now. I don't have no way of taking a picture. So this is my camera.
All right, then if I put it up, you'll look at it.
Put it on there. Yeah, there it is.
LA's Church. This Pastor Sammy. Look him up.
Pastor Sammy.
Literally life changing.
I love that.
And hey,
like I said, man, my word, I'm gonna give this a look.
Give it a look.
All right?
I have a few things on there too.
Yep.
A few videos on Christianity.
Yep.
And I'm talking to Will on Monday. We'll probably delve into Christianity a little bit. You know, we all have to have open minds on this earth. These are fleeting decades that we have while we're here. So I appreciate you guys listening as well.
Love you, man.
Yeah, hey, ditto.
Yeah, appreciate it,
Thanks
man.
for coming
Really
out, guys.
appreciate it.
Thanks for coming out. Enjoy your day, and talk to you later.
Thank you.
They were really nice. They were really nice. It was just a long conversation. And we kind of got off topic a bit. But he just wanted to keep going. Misfit Vegan in the house! What's going on? Hi, Jeanette. How are you? That was a long conversation where we just went into different realms and dimensions, unfortunately kind of veering off of our trajectory of defending the animals. But we did do, and nice to see you, Jeanette. Everybody, all 29 of you, go subscribe to Misfit Vegan right now. Stop what you're doing. She's putting out the truth. So many good interviews. Yeah, just an amazing activist. So, yeah, I started out with those guys, and I'll probably make a short out of this where I asked them, guardian or protector? I'm sorry, guardian or bully? Animal abuse or non-animal abuse? Health or disease? Across the board, they want to be a guardian against animal abuse, health. Okay, we just ironed everything out for them and told them they're vegan because that's what a vegan would answer. We asked them about nutrition. B12 came up, and I'll be making a short out of that one, I guarantee you. We ironed that one out as well. And then we went into the throes of religion to never come out and talk for a half an hour. But they were really nice. They took my card. They're vegan in their heart. This interaction will change their life. You know, I think they will think back to it, and it'll forever be, you know, living rent-free in their head, and that's nothing but a net positive. See if these guys want to talk. What's going on, guys? You guys want to try this? Why aren't you vegan yet? Be on YouTube. We got one guy.
I can't do that.
Okay, heard. Okay, he said he can't do it. He almost stopped.
I was going to give you a really explicit answer.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of peanut butter. Yo. I need that protein, all right?
I get it, but we're just telling everybody that not being vegan is not being nice. That's the only thing we're telling people tonight. But asking a few questions. Hi guys, how's it going, everybody? How you doing? But let's see if they come back. I threw out a little bait there. I'm acting like I'm talking to you guys, but they're talking shit, and they're leaving. But you know, the whole spirit of this whole thing, guys, is just to get people to come over to talk, where we have a nice partnership, compassionate conversation. Sometimes they get a little heated and things go off the rails, but for the most part, the MO is to share this with people because people just don't know. The protein, yeah, I think he said that. Did you hear that? But yeah, I thought that new little bit was pretty effective. You know, asking those 3 questions. And I think I'm gonna draft some new ones tonight too. Seasoned vegan, asking what city I'm in. I don't know if I want to get that local right now. Thanks, decidedly, Donna. Nice to see you here. Oh, I love this. Here's a good one. You guys have no issue using a phone, but eating animals is wrong? Dumb. Oh my God. Can I give you a face palm? That is for you, D. Okay, so being vegan is doing your best. Doing your best is being vegan. We can all be vegan. The least you can do, D, is to give an animal their bodily autonomy. Stop saying your body, my choice, and then lean back on, oh, you got a phone. No. Veganism is not perfection. There's no nirvana where you just create no harm. But you can do your best and be vegan. Thank you. It's just frustrating when you bring this up, guys. D, you gotta look in the mirror. You really gotta take stock of what you're saying. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm gonna go for we'll go for 7 more minutes, and then I'm gonna hit that 80-minute mark, and I'll probably take off, guys. It's been an honor and a pleasure being with you guys tonight. And I already got some great shorts I know I'm making out of this one. But if you can, guys, any vegans in here or other vegan activists, I will be doing B12 live Q&As on Fridays now. Just did one last Friday. I will help you field out different questions on vitamin B12. Everybody read the book, The Enigma of Vitamin B12, Nature's Only Mistake by Anthea V. Hayes. She has literally vetted, chronicled, put together the history for us. So you can see and listen to your own self in terms of what to believe. And you will see, once you read this history of vitamin B12, that it's all a lie. But if you're vegan and you're curious about this stuff and you're a little dubious even, come to the live stream. Yeah, you can be on it if you want. You want to try this? Cool, man. I'm James. I'm an animal rights activist. What was your name?
Sharif.
Sharif? Oh, nice to meet you. Awesome. Yeah, I just come out here and I just ask people questions, right?
Why aren't we vegan yet?
Yes. So I guess the first question I would ask you is, do you think animals deserve rights? What do you think? Okay. Which rights do you think would be bare minimum for them to have?
Well, for them not to be
mistreated.
Yeah, that word. And
okay, I love that.
Even as far as like hunting, I don't really believe in hunting that much.
I love that.
I don't really.
Yeah, don't
Yeah,
really,
for
don't
fun,
believe in it.
killing for fun.
Yeah, you're looking at
I don't really think that. But I do think that Jesus put animals on this earth, or God on this earth, for us to eat and supply food for us.
But the mistreatment thing, we'll go back to like the rights thing, right? I love that you said that. Basically, we just posture, and I'll ask you: do you think animals at least deserve the rights to their own bodies? Like, what's the word? Bodily autonomy, like your body, your choice, type of thing. Would you agree with that sentiment?
Yeah, but how are they going to tell us?
Yeah, and they can't. You know, they don't have a voice. And I'll get into that, I guess. But the next question I'd like to kind of stack on there is: are you for or against animal abuse? Hi guys.
I am against it.
Oh, I am against wholeheartedly.
Yeah, with conviction, right? With conviction.
No, yeah.
So basically, those two questions tell me that you have a vegan heart, right? I'll throw in another one.
But I still eat meat.
Yeah, but nutritionally, do you think you need do you guys think you need anything from a non-vegan diet? Like, what's the big thing you hear all the time? Or do you have any ideas, or would you have any objections nutritionally?
No.
Nah.
Not really.
Okay. So this is this is like a crossroads moment, right? So we know your values are
you vegan?
Oh, of course. Yeah, I would hope so. I bet. Yeah, me being out here in the street randomly on a Saturday night. By the way, I'm not vegan.
Why aren't you vegan?
Do you pass judgment on people that don't choose that route?
No.
Okay.
No, and I will explain that to you if we can get to that. But so we can agree that you don't need anything nutritional from a non-vegan diet, right? This leaves us with implications, certain things that loom in the background that we never think to look at. Basically, since we don't need anything nutritional, we have to ask ourselves, why in the hell are we doing all this to them? And I think the first thing that's going to surface in your minds, because I've been doing this for a while, is, well, animals aren't the same as us. They're not the same as us.
Right.
So that's one of the first things that's going to surface.
Have you read the Bible?
Oh, of course, I'm reading it right now, actually. I was just telling the last people
so
that were here.
You know that in the Bible, like, many of them were used for sacrifices.
And the same guy just brought that up.
Yeah.
And you know, what I told him, it's all historically context.
Right.
Right? Like, have you heard What Would Jesus Do? Have you heard that?
Yeah.
Okay, WWJD.
Right.
If Jesus was here, and he was able to walk around and vote for certain systems with his dollar for food, because that's what we do. We vote for these systems with a dollar. Would he vote for benevolent systems, or would he vote for cruel systems? What do you think? It's a tough one.
No, it is.
I mean, it's not really. Right?
I think the way that we go about it is very cruel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it's inhumane.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The way that it was many years ago, it wasn't as cool. But now I feel like, yes, I can see both standpoints for
So
sure.
You can see now though, like you can hear these whispers of something's wrong.
Right.
You see how we do things
Yeah.
now, right?
It's-
But
yeah.
I think that's, if we really were to unpack that, we could go deeper there, and we could just simply point that as being your knowing that something is wrong with taking their lives in general.
Right.
If we really got deep down there. But
like,
yeah.
there's like the point of also they were put here for us to eat, to survive.
I think it was lamented in the Bible as such. Like I know that there are many translations of the Bible. It's been translated over and over and over.
Right.
Man's gotten his paws on it.
Yeah.
A lot.
I think so too.
And
Yeah.
Jesus was a very compassionate person. You know, whatever it says in the Bible, we know Jesus was compassionate. We can operate out of that perspective. We don't have to kind of default to something written by man, because that was written by man. And then, sold as Jesus' actual word, right? This whole thought experiment just comes down to, what do you guys want to vote with going forward? Do you want to vote for systems of compassion or vote for systems of non-compassion? But I'll tell you one thing, I'm 13 years vegan, right? 13 years, my daughter's vegan, I eat Chinese, I eat American, I eat Italian. I eat across the spectrum. I enjoy every single meal that I eat. I don't take vitamins. I don't take supplements.
And it's just plant-based?
Plant-based, baby.
And it just tastes...
Plant-based,
baby?
Yes,
Does it taste the same?
But I can tell you...
It tastes the same.
And like, what are the benefits from...
Nothing but net positive.
Really?
Nothing but net positive.
Really?
Yeah, because you're not eating
Because honestly, to me, I love steak.
Okay.
I love
me
steak. With
too.
some A1 sauce and some mashed potatoes, like that's my favorite. That's my go-to meal.
Do I think the way we go about it is right? No.
I was the guy at the restaurant. I wanted the biggest steak to impress my date, now my wife. I want the biggest steak. I want a goblet of wine, and you bring extra whatever just to like show out a little.
What if we didn't, kill animals for us to eat?
Yeah.
Would the animals get overpopulated like the humans are?
Well,
because we don't want humans to eat them, right?
Yeah, we
have so many.
We have a lot. We bring in so much of this artificially.
Right.
99% of farmed animals are factory farmed.
No, yeah, it's not like kill the pig,
billion
sell the
a
pig.
year.
It's like process the
Keep
pig,
on-
put
we-
chemicals in the pig, yada,
grow
yada.
them.
No, yeah.
Reproduce them, all against their will.
Right.
So, we can be overpopulated because we just stop doing it. And it's not going to be a blink of an eye thing. It's going to be a scaling out of a thing. But
I mean, I can see your point, but I also think
try
that
to give you guys cards before you go.
eating meat is just so...
I mean, yet again, where would the cows be if they weren't locked up? Would they be just roaming the streets?
Wouldn't that be badass?
No,
Y'all see this? The reason we're here.
Sanctuaries. They would be in sanctuaries.
They're
We
like
would be
pigs, chickens, cows, everywhere.
I'm not like shut off to it.
Yeah, here, take this card. I want you to. Anybody who's interested.
Yeah.
Are you interested?
I'm intrigued.
Right.
But does that mean I'm
also
not
thinking-
gonna eat a steak tomorrow? I
I'm gonna
might.
give one to you too. Yeah. Well, I want you to look at these resources.
Yeah.
Because I got resources
We
for
will.
you. There's one called Christ-spiracy. So think conspiracy and Christ.
Right.
It talks all about the Bible. It digs in deep and points to a few things that I brought up there. And it shows you just how Jesus was a freaking badass when he was alive. And the last thing he did before going to the cross was an act of animal rights activism. It was unbelievable. When he flipped the tables in the temple and said, "This is not what we do in the house of the Lord." He was unshackling animals. He was, throwing the money on the table. It all comes down to money.
That part.
Since we have our wits about us and we're compassionate human beings, we can say no to this crap. Moving forward.
Exactly.
But you'll find the steak out there that's
Yeah.
vegan. You'll find whatever your favorite food is that's vegan. You're going to find it if your why is strong enough. You're going to find that.
Well, thank you for your
thank you,
insight.
guys.
Yeah.
Hey,
No, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys
Enjoy
are
your
great.
night. Be blessed.
Enjoy your night. I
Thank
will
you.
try. I'm getting ready to take off with you guys. Check out the cards, though.
Thank
And
you.
Just think about them.
Yeah, we will.
All right, guys. Have a good one. My friends, I'm getting ready to take off. We got here's some live action for you on Saturday nights. The crap that goes on out here. We have a football game, but it kind of makes it fun. You never know what's going to happen out here. Dominion says they spun the Bible to say it was the money changers when it was the animal sacrifice he was disrupting. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Thank you, Dominion. Always keeping me on my toes. I thought the money changing was a part of it, like it was a part of the whole whatever they were doing in that church. John Cowtag, nice to see you. Bye, decidedly Donna. Guys, I'm taking off myself. It's been an honor and a pleasure being with you all. I love you all you amazing vegans and vegan activists in here. You're going to see Tuesday, me and Will Tuttle are talking about the 7 deadly psyops. Bye, Navia. And then we have another 812 Q&A coming up Friday outside the slaughterhouse in a few weeks. And the morning show is going to be once a month, I've realized. And it'll be the beginning of every month, so I'm going to start in December, and it'll be a recap of all the vegan news and everything that's transpired in the month. So, okay, how's it going, guys? You can. Did you see me before, or?
She sent me a text about you.
Oh yeah. Okay, okay.
She was on your stream.
Do you have a question right off the bat, or? I will say I don't got too much time, but I got time for you. Thanks for stopping by.
Well, I used to be a vegetarian, so I say I'm sympathetic to veganism.
Okay.
I'm not like fully on board though, because you can see I have like 110 pounds built. I think that's because I used to be a vegetarian.
Okay.
I should have eaten meat.
You look great. I don't know what you're talking about. You look great. Okay. So where's your question out there?
Well, my question is like, what's your argument for it? They've been watching too much football.
I think so. Okay,
but like, give me your argument for it.
Sure. So I just have a few questions, and it always go different. I can't even remember when I postured with you with, because I've talked to a myriad of people since. I'll say, do you think animals deserve rights? How about that? Which rights do you think they deserve?
I'm going to change my question. What is a right?
A right, okay. A right. I'm not talking about rights to, I don't want to go too, I know we don't want to go too deep into etymology and what defines a word. But I would say, and I would just kind of make it very general, do you think animals in general deserve the rights, I won't even say right, the ability to have sovereignty over their bodily autonomy?
I think they, like, some animals have as much dignity as humans.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, or more. Especially some of the more ethically challenged humans.
Yeah.
But rights just meaning not to drive cranes, not to drive cars, just to have the rights to their own bodily autonomy. That's it. Yeah.
If I, as a human animal and a part of the ecosystem, and my yard was invaded by raccoons who are not native to that area, and I was hungry, would it be justified for me to kill those raccoons and eat them?
If you were hungry, or if you had no other food option?
Well, if they were invading my home, eating my carrots, and they were biting me.
I would say, here's the answer I would give to that. It's about doing your best. Going to your own intuition, you would ask yourself, like, is there a way that I can do this in a compassionate way, and then maybe go get food from somewhere else? Because if the answer is yes, that's not doing your best, like how you just framed it, But we can do our best in these situations, right? The whole spirit of this endeavor is telling everybody that vegan is doing your best, because you're yielding at least bodily autonomy to the animal. That's the bare minimum we can do for these guys, is yield them their own bodily autonomy.
If nature has the right to fight back against humans, then does human have the right to fight back against nature if the nature is hurting them?
I would say there's a clear difference between a moral agent and a moral patient. Are you familiar with the dynamic?
Can you please define a moral agent?
So a moral agent, I'll go with that first. It's like us, right? Like, we know the difference between right and wrong. We are stewards of those that are on less intellectual kind of gradients than us. A moral patient is somebody or an animal, somebody that is at the mercy of the moral agent, that is obligate with what they do. Say a carnivore, a lion. He's obligatory with how he has to eat. They have to eat meat. They have to be carnivores. It's obligatory. They are patient. They don't have that greater knowing of right and wrong. But you do, and you do, and you do, and I do. Mm-hmm. So we can use our moral agency, with great power comes great responsibility, to make responsible choices in these situations.
What if an intelligent creature like an octopus was trying to kill me?
Oh, in that case, defend yourself.
Could I eat it and fry it?
I don't even know if you want to do that. If you're already in that situation, you're probably running for your life if it's trying to kill you. I would say defend yourself. context dependent, right? Like there are geographic regions where some people might have to kill to hunt for their survival. They're vegan because they don't have a choice and they're doing their best. But us, right here, we got Chipotle right there, right?
Veganism is not a practice. To you, it's a state of mind.
I can see that. I can see that being a way to frame it. A state of mind, an ethos, a something to operate out of. The golden rule. You've heard of the golden rule. Did I bring that up? I default back to that sometimes. But it is a way of being.
Okay. I thought of a better question.
Yeah.
Why should we bring animals like up to the level of humans instead of bringing humans down to the level of animals? Because you're saying like we should give them more dignity, or we should afford them the rights that humans have. Like, why should we say rights exist at all?
Yeah.
And
Why do we have to
scum?
use rights? We use rights because it's so just bare bones and easy to transmit as far as conversation. We don't have to use rights. We could use a different word. But you get what I'm saying. You at least get what I'm saying.
I do.
We don't have to be on the same level, put them on our level at all. Yeah. We can see ourselves as higher, but then there we go, back to with great power comes great responsibility. We have that binary choice. Since I'm more powerful than you, do I want to be a protector or a bully? And every day when we're at the cash register, we're exacting that dynamic. We're voting either for benevolent systems or systems that boycott violence. And it's very binary, it's very simple. They don't have to be treasured more than us, but we can at least extend compassion to them. Mm-hmm. That's the least we ask.
Yeah, but my question is more like, it's just about the framing in itself. Like, you're saying we should extend compassion to animals and humans. Like, why should we extend compassion to anybody?
Okay, so you're getting. I think if we unpack this a bit more, you'll find that us as beings, we are all compassionate. We're born compassionate. We're born of innocence and purity, right? Mm-hmm. It is who we are. It's all love and it's all one. I think if you saw someone getting hurt right here, I think your intuition would tell you something's wrong. I think your intuition would tell you you would not feel good, just because you're passion.
My intuition as a human, and so genetically I'm a hunter-gatherer. I see a cow, and I'm hungry, and I say I want to take milk away from that cow because I'm starving. How is that on a different level from feeling compassion if somebody got hurt? Because both are instincts, both are part of being human. To be human is to be an omnivore, to be a hunter-gatherer. To be human is also to feel compassion. So how do we balance those two?
There's really not a balance. There's really no need to balance it or reconcile it. It just is. Like what you're framing out right there, if all these hypotheticals, I get it, but these are all context-dependent hypotheticals. If you're in that situation, you want to defend your life. If you're in that situation, you're starving, you want to eat. This is all justified. It's absolutely not justified for it to do it out of ill necessity if we don't need to do it. We're literally saying, keep shoring up this system of violence because I just like the way things taste. And we can use all these justifications. But at the end of the day, we don't need animals for anything nutritionally. Nothing.
I think with that, I understand kind of like you were saying before, the argument of like becoming vegetarian, like not eating animals. What I have a question about is like not eating any sort of animal products like honey, cheese, like dairy products with eggs, where we might be able to find like alternatives to eating those, especially if we're not like ethically sourcing those things. But if there's a way to like ethically like kind of like cooperating with nature, like symbiosis, like taking something and like helping take care of those animals.
Cooperating. Okay.
Yeah, like why is that necessarily like
a bad?
Because it seems like you could argue that like it would take more work, or like you have to kind of go out of your way to like get the nutrients that you can get from like the protein that comes from like eggs. Say like someone like myself, like a lot of products that are like protein alternatives have nuts, and I'm allergic to nuts.
Gotcha.
So like eggs are a source of protein for me when I can't eat nuts. So it's like you can source those ethically.
Okay,
Like,
I see what you're framing. So here's how I would respond to that.
Well,
There's
you
money
don't know
involved.
about white, nigga.
Now, let that steep for a second. There's money
If it wasn't
involved.
him and Cal Riley,
Any
I'm
kind
going
of
to
animal
If you had
agriculture, no matter how ethical it's framed to be. Best ethically farmed bunny rabbits and bedspreads. They're playing Kenny G to the farm, to the animals. They're giving them great lives. There's money involved, and when there's money involved, all bets are off. Because that little being with the eyes to see, the nose to smell, the heart, the family, they're not seen as a being anymore. They're seen as what? They're seen as an object. They're seen as something to exploit. When I say exploit, I mean use for our own benefit, right? So if there's money involved with anything, you always have to look at that and use your intuition to decide if there are certain truths that will hold. So the egg industry, it's very unethical. Like when you vote for the egg industry, you're voting for baby chicks that are born male to go into a Vitamix and die on their first day of life, right? It's unfortunately what we do. When you're voting for cheese, you're voting for a farmer to put his hands in a cow's privates and take advantage of them 5 to 6 times during their life. And then eventually, when they're spent, take it out to the shed, have their throats slit. Cheese, it's involved. And these things are all hidden from us. So it's our duty as human beings to search these out, to find these truths, and to just live our values. That's how I would answer that question. I have other proteins. I'm vegan 13 years. I eat everything, man. I eat fruits, veggies, and no nuts for you, but chickpeas, lentils, beans. It's all there. But I gave you a card, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you guys can check out the card, take a picture of it. But I got all the reasons.
Was that the Christspiracy?
It's on there.
Card.
Yeah, it's on there. I brought it up quite a bit tonight.
Could you explain that? Just like
it's
1 minute, because I know you don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, I brought it up quite a bit tonight because there was a lot of religious combating. But the Christspiracy basically frames the vegan activism kind of parallel that really is at work with Jesus and how he lived and who he was. He was really a vegan activist. And his last act before going to the cross was that of vegan activism. There's a lot more that the movie actually unpacks.
I need to watch it.
You gotta watch it. I don't know if you're religious. But basically it gets down to the compassion aspect. What would Jesus do? And it shows you how different churches have completely bastardized his word.
You bring up, I don't know, you probably discussed this, but you know that one passage in Genesis where it's like you can use the fruits of animals for your own nutrition. You know, like originally, when God creates Adam and Eve, he just says like live off the greenery, live off
before they ate from the tree of knowledge.
But then after the flood, God gives them dominion over all the animals,
which could mean stewardship and protection. It doesn't necessarily mean exploitation.
But I think he says use them.
Well,
for your own
remember,
nutrition,
man tinkered the Bible. Man's own hands went in there and actually tinkered things as far as his own agenda. You can't really say that this materialistic vehicle is all truth. Man did get his hands.
But then,
on
how
this.
do you believe Christianity at all?
Well, we believe in Jesus, that he existed, that he was a man of enlightenment, that he was compassionate. But man bastardized all this with his agenda, the money.
So you wouldn't say you believe in any specific church. You more believe in the spirit of what
spiritual
Jesus was saying.
aspect of it. Okay. Yeah.
Do you think God asked for burnt offerings? Do you think that was?
Well, I know. I'm sure.
You're trying to find an argue.
Hi guys. I think the Bible chronicles it. I don't know for sure what happened. None of us do.
That Jesus' role as a vegan activist came in the place of omitting the burnt offering necessity from the.
Yeah, well, we don't know. I mean, honestly, I would contest that whole burnt offering thing could be a pack of lies that have just been built out and spelled out via this materialistic vehicle, which is the Bible, translated umpteenth times, tinkered, adjusted, and curated window dressed to fit that agenda of what man wants everybody to think. Because if you think about it, you defending that, it makes the narratives very happy, because they're going to keep singing. It serves their coffers, it serves their accounts when people have these. But if you just look to yourself, like I'm trying to get everybody to point to, we can see that Jesus was the most compassionate man. none of this in 2025. You would be disgusted by it. That's how I would posture. But you guys got my card. I got to get going. My family's waiting for me. It's really been a pleasure talking to you, and I know that it comes off as combative. All of this that I'm doing tonight is all in the spirit of love and partnership and wanting to share with my fellow human brother and sister. So maybe right now you're like, F this guy. But maybe you'll think about it later, and maybe you'll check out the resources. I don't know. I just appreciate you guys spending your time and coming up to me and trusting me with your time. That's all.
No,
I'm very thankful for that.
I'll watch Christspiracy because I always need new movies.
Absolutely. Give me a handshake. Sorry. All right. Well, you guys have a great night. Take care, everybody. Yeah, guys, I am taking off now. I better start walking. Because I'll tell you, you do this pop-up outreach, people come up to you, man. Everybody comes up to you. We need so many pop-up outreachers popping up in every town, doing this kind of work. What a beautiful night. I had no chance to talk to the camera. I mean, I talked to you guys a little bit. But the majority of the time was talking to people, and we're hitting the, oh my God, my wife's gonna kill me. Honey, if you're watching, I'm power walking home. I've been out for 100 minutes, handed out tons of cards, shook hands, gave hugs. Some guy told me he loves me. I can explain that, honey, if you are watching still. It was healthy. It was nothing, no funny business. 40-year-old vegans in here. I wonder if feeding 92 billion animals and eating them has more impact on it. Oh, thanks for fielding that out, guys. Thanks for fielding out some of the insane debauchery that happens in here. And thank you, Dominion, for being here. We had Misfit Vegan here. Dominion, you've been here the whole time. Thanks for moderating in the beginning. I'll tell you, anytime that happens, we're going to keep doing that because there's no place for that here. Thanks for moderating that person out of here. Evil Steven in the house. Nice to see you, sir. Yes, everybody please like and subscribe. There's my beautiful town. These are all the wonderful people of my town. And everybody is drunk right now. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next live stream. And I'll definitely see you Friday. Watch out for the interview with me and Will on Tuesday. Bye, everybody. Take care, guys. Love you all.